Yeah, the Porter Brothers, ladies and gentlemen. First saw them here at what was that? A Duncan Music Recital. The word was recital I was looking for. Just the two of them, just the drummer, Marshall, and Jack. And wow, I was so impressed right away that we helped convince their younger brother to get in and play bass and became the Porter Brothers Band, and they've been doing real good for themselves. And they used to come down to open mic a few times in their very beginning years, and it was great for them to try out their new songs and just to see how it was going to work. Dress rehearsal Tuesday, that's what this is, and this is, I wasn't here last week, so your host was, in fact, Dr. Ted Cadillac, who, when I watched it, I saw him run back and forth and make it all happen. But it was cool. It was great that Neil showed up last week for the first time. Glad you found out about the place. It's kind of nice on stage, isn't it? It's got a good feel about it. Helps you feel comfortable when you're performing. Michelle's a regular. She's been coming here quite a bit, so we're going to let her get up first today. She's going to do 4 songs. But the whole idea is it's in an open mic. And if you're tuning in and watching, of which at any one given time our open mic draws anywhere over to 70 to 100 people within 2 or 3 days. So that means people are watching. And if you're watching, please think about it. A tip every so often. You know, we are the DoorDash of music. You know, like you order food, 20 minutes after it's out of the oven, it shows up at your door. You know, whereas we give you music, it's so live, it's made no more than 13-second delay, I think. It's right fresh, right brought to you. So, and if you tip those other guys, then you should tip us somehow. Just a small donation would work. It'd feel good. Oh, you know something that's been bothering me?
I got something weird going on. Either this cable or this guy. So we just switch.
Well, let it not be my guitar.
No. It was doing it before you plugged in, so it couldn't even be a.
When I was watching the video the other night, it made the stage look lopsided. Here, hold on.
Do you have a tuner on right now or something?
I don't, no. No, I don't have a tuner.
Try just play something. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, so I still have that problem with that, so I'm gonna go. Just to figure it out, unplug that.
I'll take that.
Plug.
Yo, here I is. Hey, I got a birthday coming up. It's my 24th annual 50th birthday celebration. Yeah. I kind of remember the first one. Push it in fast. It's like getting a tooth pulled. Just pull it. Anyway, yeah. So it's my birthday, and turns out that at around 7 o'clock we're going to gather in here, and we've got some music that I'd like to hear on my birthday. That's Eugene Smith is going to do a tune or two. Leanie Beanie's going to be here. I'm going to get her to do her parking lot. And that's for John when he tunes in. And what else do we got? Oh, Bill Levity's going to be here too. So that sounds real good when those guys work together. And Reed Williams is coming down. And that's great because...
I met his dad on the bus the other day.
Did you? Good for you. He's a proud dad because, you know, he should be. Reed's doing real good for himself. He's a great songwriter. And if you ever watch Bill Levity does a lot of Reed Williams tunes. So it'll be neat to have Reed actually do them himself with accompaniment. Years ago when the Duncan Garage first started, he was involved with that. He came down and played a lot with different bands he was with. Little Detroit of the West was the name of the band. They rocked. But anyway, here we are. It's open mic. It's a shallow night. I can understand that. Not a lot of performers out tonight yet. But don't let that get to you. It doesn't get to me. What else do I want to say? Hey, Thanks for coming out to the open mic too at the festival. That was great to have you out there.
That was an amazing time.
Isn't it?
I had no idea how I would react to be in there with, we've got sometimes lots of people here, but that was a different situation there.
Oh, it is, because there's a distance and you can see them, because it's not nighttime, you can see them.
But I was perfectly cool with that. I had memory issues, as sometimes happens, but in terms of the crowd, I was pretty happy that they were all there.
That's good,
And,
wasn't it fun?
and that selfie I took?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite pictures. There's people put their hands up like this, and other people waving, and Dr. Cadillac was leaning over waving. It's a great picture.
Memories are made of this. The 39 Days of July. No wonder we won an award this year. Well, there's no awards for 2 years. No wonder we'll get on for next. But anyway, we are voted. By the way, there is a thing on the Citizen. If you go to the Citizen and look up, there's one of their contests that are going on right now, and it's the best in the valley thing.
That's us.
And the Duncan Showroom's in there as one of the places mentioned as to a live music venue. So anybody who's out there watching, punch in. Go. We got till Friday.
I tell everybody I know to come down here.
That's good.
I know a few.
If you have to come down here. No, it's just joking, playing on words. Anyway, Michelle, you didn't make this guitar.
I did not make this guitar.
Okay. But you do make guitars.
Yes.
The one you played with last week, you had made.
Yes, I'm having issues with it.
All right.
Yes. Not with the way it sounds itself, but with electrical things.
Always it's the electrical problems.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But anyway,
Onwards and upwards.
upwards and onwards and all of that. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Michelle, please give it up for all of us. Well, she takes for 4 songs today.
All right, so I didn't know if I'd have 4 songs to try out today, but how's about that Eddie Brickell song, Once in a Blue Moon? She said I tried to mind my own business, but the sadness in your face was a challenge to my faith, and I wanna drive the dark out of your eyes. So she smiled and said hello. Little did she know he'd grab a hold of her soul and never, 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 never let it go. He was fine before he met her. Eyes like faded dreams, soft and blue, and he'd seen everything he'd been everywhere. Till he cast his gaze her way, longed to see it every day. Heard a voice inside him say, "You'll never, 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 never be the same." Once in a while, once in a blue moon, there'll be somebody and young, and the orange setting sun was beautiful. Ever so at ease in the summer setting breeze, they would talk and they would tease and never, 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 never want to leave. Once in a while, once in a blue moon, there'll be somebody, there'll be somebody like you. Okay. I like her rhymes in that song. Yeah. Okay, so another one, that's another song that's not one of mine, another Gillian Welch song. I think it might be one of her more popular songs. Look at Miss Ohio. You look at Miss Ohio, she's running around with her rag top down. She wants to do right, just not right now. Go down to Atlanta, gonna live out that fantasy of running around with her rag top down. She wants to do right, just not right now. Arm around her shoulder, like a regimental soldier. Mama's starting to push that wedding gown. She wants to do right, just not right now. Oh, me, oh, my, oh. Won't you look at Miss Ohio? She's running around with her rag top down. She wants to do right, just not right now. There's no need to shout it, I know all about it. Could have straightened all out somehow. I want to do right, just not right now. Oh, me, oh, my, oh. Won't you look at Miss Ohio? She's running around with her rag top down. She wants to do right, just not right now. So when you forget how the chords work, you just start when you forget how the chords work, you just start making them go through them until it seems like you're done, right? Are you going to play a song tonight, Mike?
No, you go ahead.
All right. All right. So this one will be a song I tried last week too. It's my cornerstone Kiss song. It's sort of a true story, written in the last month, and but either set back in time in the 90s or maybe set in some hillbilly type place where whatever's. Watching the door and the racing faces and wondering where you are. The waitress fills my glass and I'm starting to miss you, lass. Watching the band play on as you slide up against my ass. Don't you dare, she said. Don't you know where we are? Face to face and a kiss away from getting kicked out of this place. When we were done watching the band, we grabbed and held my hand. We helped each other to our feet and felt our cheeks meet. Don't you dare, she said. Don't you know where we are? Face to face and a kiss away from getting kicked out of this place. I said I don't care, 'cause your face is so fair. Your mind is kind and your breath is sweet, and I wish that you were mine. And go ahead and dare, she said. They don't know who we are. Face to face and one long kiss, and hand in hand we ran from that place. So I heard this song a week ago. It's a song by Jason Isbell, Last of My Kind. I heard it once and I had to listen to it about 10 times. Then I decided I had to try to learn the song and see if it's stuck in my brain or not yet. Staying in the city at night, can't see the stars for the neon lights. Sidewalks are dirty and the river is worse. Underground trains all running rivers. No one here can dance like me. Everybody's parking lot for Walton's 5 and dime. Am I last of my kind? Am I last of my kind? Tried to go to college, but I didn't belong. Everything I said was either funny or wrong. Laughed on my boots and laughed on my jeans. Laughed when they gave me amphetamines. Left me alone in the bad part of town. 36 hours till I come back down. Am I last of my kind? Am I last of my kind? Mama said that God will never give you too much to bear. Well, that might be true in Arkansas, but I'm long, long way from there. That whole world's a old and faded memory in my mind. Am I last of my kind? Am I last of my kind? Am I last of my kind? Thank you, audience. Thank you, audience. Thank you, Dr. Cadillac and Long John.
Yeah. What's that? Cable. Did you find? I brought the two cables. I found them in the bottom of the box. Okay. So they're on your desk over here. The two that were over there. Yes, I'd like to remind everyone who's tuning in tonight. Wind Down Wednesdays in August. It's a continuation of the 39 Days of July in that it's almost its own festival, but it draws people into the city square on a. Well, I was just sitting outside. I can't say it's a warm August night. Oh, 20. It's 21 with a wind chill factor. It's 18. Well, you know, people are affected by that. And we just had a bit of rain, so that made it a little bit cooler. But anyway, on Wednesday nights, we have this situation where we continue music, and we have it at 7 o'clock, 7:30, and 8:30 in the city square. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Steve Cutler. Like that guy. He showed up at an open mic one afternoon at the 39 Days of July and caught our ear, and we started finding out that, yeah, he's quite a good musician, and he's a good writer. He's a new dad, so he's got all sorts of new energy in his body, in his soul. So he'll be opening it up at 7, doing about 25-minute set. Jerry Barnum's coming all the way down from wherever he lives. I thought it was Courtney, but it's not. I think he lives in Nanaimo. Or north of Nanaimo. In the news, I don't know. North of here, anyway. So he's coming down, and to give you an idea, one night for Blues on Tuesday, I put him on. I had a quartet on first, a blues, a real big blues band. And then I went down to a trio blues band. And then I put him up, it went band, duo, and then a solo. So I reversed, anyway, the whole procedure of how you would do it, which people would think. But Jerry not only held it, but won a whole bunch of fans, and he had a standing ovation that night in the park. It was really cool to see. Oh, by the way, Tim, I separated that one that doesn't work. Yeah. I'm going to put a big X of tape on it. I bought some more gaff tape today, too. Anyway, the big idea tomorrow, he's on at 7:30, 8:30. Lara Wong is in town. Her quartet, and this lady is an amazing flautist. been spending a lot of time in Spain, where she's been getting known for her flamenco and world style of music. She's traveling with a very excellent guitar player, Melon Jimenez. Jimenez? Yeah, Jimenez. Melon Jimenez. And they got a percussionist with them as well. And they're bringing along a flamenco dancer. So what we need to do is bring a piece of plywood. Where do I put my... I want it on my flight. Right there, sir. He's waiting for you. Yeah, you go for it. Right now, it's so ingrained in his muscle memory. His hand automatically turns it on and turns it off, even if he doesn't know he's doing it. Well, yeah, we do. I'll make sure that we do.
I don't got one.
We did have one, but the last artist took it away. Remember that? Who were they? The one on the Monday night with the Polish. Was she singing? No, what was she singing? In what language? You know, she had something that she sat down and she played it while she was sitting. She tapped her feet. Where were they from? What was the style of music was that?
I'm trying to remember. I remember. It's usually like French Canadian or something.
It wasn't in French. It was in Polish.
I don't know. I've just done.
No, because we already had Polish. So it was another language. It wasn't Icelandic.
I don't remember.
God.
I've done a lot of bands recently. My brain is mush.
Well, name that tune. Name that band.
75 bands was that?
Anyway, they're on tomorrow night. By donation, bring your own lawn chair, and I would recommend you bring a sweater. Interesting thing, just so you know, 'cause we're putting out some time. We got lots of time. When we did our rain festival in the city square, we did a 10-day festival. It was great, except that it was cold, but we had propane heaters, right, one beside the sound booth where you could, try and stay warm underneath that. And was it 2 or 3 on stage?
There was 2.
2 on stage, and it worked enough to keep everybody kind of going. But on one couple came down with an electric blanket and plugged it in. I was thinking, way to go, guys, you got her. And then when one day it actually rained for Arbutus Roots, and their fan base came down with umbrellas. It works, People will go, make it, build it, and they will come along. So anyway, Neil, I was quite impressed. For somebody, you said you haven't been playing?
I haven't been playing for a very long time. My background stage with a PA is relatively...
Is it cool? But you used to be a player before, because I got that feeling. Like, that guy's starting off right now. Well, give me a break. I'm quitting doing what I'm doing. But there was another guy that we just had out, John Rowan, who we had at the 39 Days of July, and I had him out at the special Woodstock, which we did. I had him in the Rose Garden stage. Beautiful festival, by the way. If you ever get the opportunity to go out and just spend even an hour or 2 hours, I had people where I was, but then I'd walk over to where Tim was doing, or Dr. Ted was doing his, and that whole dance floor was just full of people, and it was just, it was such a wonderful, joyous thing. But anyway, John had quit
By
for
the way,
40.
wait, I just want to say, I think I remember that girl, and she was from Montreal, wasn't she? Wasn't that Aline?
No, no, that was the one the week before. This was the one that I could see it. Someone and something else, and they had that weird instrument.
Ooh, how weird.
Oh, we had a lot of weird instruments this year.
Okay, I don't remember that.
There was a
I
4-piece
sort of remember.
band.
You're going to blurt it out in the middle of the night.
Yes. No, I'm going to go look it up. But anyway, so John had quit for 40 years. And, you know, and he got back up again. And I went,
Oh, I remember now. They were from Sweden.
Sweden, that
With
was
the
it.
Nyckelharpa. That's the thing they had. Emma Bjorling or something.
Yes,
No,
that's the
yeah,
one.
Emma Bjorling and Sky Consort. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Nyckelharpa. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that till way in the middle of the night. But anyway, it was good to see him get back on again. And, you know, from what I heard last week, and now I know more about the situation, yeah, you can get back on the saddle, buddy.
I'm trying.
You know, you come here as often as you want. We'll back you. You got some.
Until you're sick of me.
Yeah, well, that's we never get sick of nobody. So Neil's his name. What's your? It doesn't matter what you're like. You're from the valley.
I am a recent resident. I'm a recent resident to the Cowichan Valley. I moved here in 2000.
Where are you from?
Most
Before-
recently, the mainland, Burnaby, but all over BC.
So you were like a BC resident?
Yeah,
Wow,
Yeah.
born and bred in BC.
Yeah.
Aren't many of those, you know.
yeah. I've been in every region. This was my last stop. Was the island.
Well, it's the best stop, trust me. It's a rather fun place to be. Hey, keep it up. You keep. We'll see how it goes this winter, but I think you got yourself a slot at the 39 Days of July next year.
Ooh. Yeah. Test. So last week I noticed that it's a really nice stage setup you have here. It's a hot mic. Am I good to be 4-6 inches away from the mic?
That's where you want to be always.
Perfect. Okay. So that's my test, I guess. So my first song is actually a real oldie. I wrote it in a band I was in. The four of us wrote it back in 1988, probably, maybe 89. It's about endless war, and unfortunately, it's as apt as it always was. It's called Salvation. Man with a message is what you mean to me. Following in your footsteps, those sirens wail for me. another one from the vaults. This one is about being 25 and feeling like your life's going nowhere, and it never will go anywhere.
I'd like to feel restless, but I'm too tired at the end of the day. And if you wanna make it home alright, well then you better stay out of my way. Out of my way. Never was good at loving. Left home with a scream and a slam. Spent all my nights doping. Turned into an angry young man. Angry young man. Whoa. My life didn't turn out the way that I planned. Still you gotta brush yourself off and do the best that you can. Oh, best that you can. Now, riding home on a sky train. Strap on some wings and we'll take this thing off. The blank expressionless faces remind me of all the dreams we have lost. At what cost? Whoa. My life didn't turn out the way that I planned. Still you gotta brush yourself off and do the best that you can. Oh, best that you can. Oh, do the best that you can. Do the best that you can. Make your last stand. Best that you can. Best that you can. Best that you can. Ha! Mhm. Thanks, Michelle.
Okay, now for a more recent one. This one is all about me and my band buddies. And all of our other friends. It's called Who We Are.
We met on the schoolyard playground, must have been 9 or 10. Soccer balls and paper airplanes and wait for dinner again. On the weekend we'd dig up worms, go fishing with your dad. Driving home with the radio on, some of the best times we ever had. Blood brothers till the end. We'll always be who we are. We'll always be who we are. That's right. Fast forward some years later, a couple of drinks in hand. Found some boys to make some noise and play in a rock and roll band. You know, we broke some hearts and had ours broken too.
sometimes I wasn't sure, but somehow we pulled through. Blood brothers till the end. We'll always be who we are. We'll always be who we are. Woo! Blood brothers till the end. We'll always be who we are. We'll always be who we are. And so the years roll by, but some things never change. Good friends on New Year's Eve, dancing and getting strange. We come from near and far to get together again. One thing I know for sure, we will remain blood brothers till the end. We'll always be who we are. We'll always be who we are. We'll always be who we are.
Was that the end?
Thanks. That was the end.
Okay.
So do I have one more?
Yeah, you got one more.
Okay.
You got one more?
I've got one more.
All right. You know, unless Mike's getting up.
What's that?
So unless Mike's getting up.
Oh, you guys go ahead.
No, I guess you got one more.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you go ahead.
All right. I'll end with a cover. This one's Bruce Springsteen. The River. If there are any harmonicas out here, it's in the key of E minor. Feel free to join in. I come from down in the valley where mister when you're young they bring you up to do like your daddy done. Me and Mary, we met in high school when she was just 17. We'd ride out of this valley down to where the fields were green. We'd go down to the river, and into the river we'd dive. Oh, down to the river we'd ride. Then I got Mary pregnant, and man, that was all she wrote. And for my 19th birthday, I got a union card and a wedding coat. We went down to the courthouse, and the judge put it all to rest. No wedding day smile, no walk down the aisle, no flowers, no wedding dress. That night we went down to the river, and into the river we dive. Oh, down to the river we did ride. I got a job working construction for the Johnstown Company. But lately there ain't been much work on account of the economy. Now all them things that seem so important, well, mister, they just vanished right into the air. Now I
just act like I don't remember. Mary acts like she don't care. But I remember us riding in my brother's car, her body tan and wet down at the reservoir. At night on them banks that lie awake, hold her close just to feel each breath she take. Now those memories come back to haunt me. They haunt me like a curse. Is a dream a lie if it don't come true? Or is it something worse that sends me down to the river? Though I know the river is dry, sends me down to the river tonight. Down to the river, my baby and I. Oh, down to the river we ride.
Nice. Thanks, Ted. That's great. Thank you very much. Thanks, Duncan Showroom. Until next time.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, out.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, it's hard to find like an E minor on harp is a little difficult.
Was that a C?
It was actually an A minor. Playing cross harp.
Yo, everybody, how you doing now? That was pretty cool. Thanks, Neil, for getting up. Thanks, Michelle, for getting up. A whole bunch of neat things just happened. And for Dr. Ted Cadillac, that special appearance. By the way, I had the opportunity. I do it here, and it's easy for me to do it because I'm here, and I'm familiar with here. But on Sunday, the Glenora Farm Handbell Choir were playing at Special Woodstock, first thing in the morning. And it's wonderful because there's two conductors who stand in front of one end and the other end. And by pointing, and there's a gesture that goes out, which means you bring your hand out. And when you bring it into your chest, it means that dulls it. And if it sits there, you let it ring. And so the people who live at Glenora Farm could not live on their own. They need to be managed and taken care of. But rather than institutionalized, this is really an advanced stage of how to integrate people back in. And so they have activities. They're learning skills. One of the greatest skills is watching them get together where there's no competitive. It's just they're all a big family when they get on that stage together and they start working together. They really care for each other. No one's trying to outdo each other. They're just trying to do it right. And they're all friends of ours, and we know them all quite intimately. Intimately in that we hang out with them when we do. We've worked with them now a couple of times at the 39 Days of July, and we had this and once again last year at the Special Woodstock. So this year, I got to be. There was a lady who had a trumpet solo that she worked with them. It was great, and then I got to do a nose flute solo with a song that I play early one morning. I play it all the time, and I have fun with it, and it's great. But all of a sudden, I had to go with them, and I had to start in the key that they were in. And there was a whole bunch of pressure that I wasn't really expecting it to happen, and then it started coming down, but I had to go out there. And we started, and she counted it in, and away we went. But I got one of the people, I said, whoever's got the D, and I know the lady who has it. And we had this little thing that I said, okay, now I need that D, give it to me. So she gives it, so, okay, does it again. Okay, thank you, that's what I need. And she sat back. But anyway, I did it. Found it was easier to do it with my eyes closed, with a whole new audience, for a whole new venue, right, to do it in. So I closed my eyes, and when I came round again at the end of it, and I started using my hand to conduct myself, I realized I was over here from the microphone. That's why you should keep your eyes open. But it was a great experience. I was able to turn around and thank these people for being my my first band that I performed with, right? And you should have seen the glow that went on. So we're going on tour. all the little festivals they play here. Yeah. Well, we can start all over again. We got some new people in. We just finished up the music, but it was kind of neat. Dr. Ted got on stage. That was cool. But just for your parents' sake, these are our Fred Astaire's. Thank you. Yeah. We have the fireplace going all year round. We do belly dancing, which means that, well, we have this wonderful thing that's happening coming up for, we're in our 20th year, right? We will have completed 20 full years of being open as the Duncan Showroom, as a listening venue that doesn't serve alcohol or food. Its primary source of income is bums and seats. We split that with the artist. We give the artists much more than what they would ever expect anywhere else, and that is, first of all, an audience that pays attention, called the attentive audience. We also have been for 10 years or more, no more than 10 years, because we started at the other venue. So 11, 12 years that the Duncan Showroom has been live streaming their shows. Because that's sort of an added thing that would take place when someone who came through town, if we didn't get a large audience, we could always at least add on the video. So once we got on over here and we got started up here, we were able to continue that quite a bit. Dr. Ted's taken it to a new level. Usually a 5-camera shoot, which is pretty darn cool. The sound that you hear in the room is pretty impeccable. The people on stage, it's really nice for them. They got their own sound. Then the people that are online get another mix that has to go on. And then there's 5 cameras that he moves along with the lights. That's why we call him Doctor. Yeah. So the whole idea of being open for 20 years is something I never expected. Oh, no, I did. You know. Sometimes you got to believe it to see it, right? And the other thing is, I used to have 3 bumper stickers. There was that one, sometimes you have to believe it to see it, which it's never been more of a truth. The other one was, we deserve what we get if we accept what they give us. I want to give that to the teachers union next time they're out there bucking for bucks. And the third one was, the meek are getting ready. Isn't that a cool one? The meek are getting ready. Now, you have to decide if you're one of the meek or not. I know it gets a lot of people going, well, where do I actually sit in this little triangle of life? You know, come on, teach it. Which side am I on? That's up to you to decide. You know, that's the way it is. By the way, for those who are online right now and just listen to me babble, you have no idea who's in our audience tonight. I have Santa Claus, number 7, sitting in... He's already planning when he's going to arrive in his hometown in Oregon.
We got 2.
2, all right. All right, there's another one. Do you ever do Santa Claus?
Me?
Yeah.
I spend the winter in Mexico and I hide.
All right. No, he's not. He hasn't had the whole part, that part yet, like that. You just do it normally, don't you? Doesn't he, sweetheart? He's got that. It wasn't like it was a hard transition to be Santa Claus. And I bet you it's in your heart too. That's the best part. Santa Claus. Quick story while I got it on. My mother was young. She fell in love. She was very pretty. She had a propensity to going to the outlaw style of people, which is what I've heard from her younger cousin, who's still alive. But he was French Canadian, and she was of English and Scottish blood. And my grandfather would in no way allow her to be married to a Frenchman. So the only way, not only because he was French, but because he was Catholic. And there was this big thing between Catholics and Protestants were in the Ottawa Valley. And now where was I going with that? Where was I now?
French and the Catholic.
No, yeah, but it's the Catholics. So, because there's another story that goes off on that one, which I don't want to get lost in. But so the Catholic thing was that the only way they could get married is if they became pregnant. And so so my mom always said that I was born of love. I was a love child because that's what was going to bring them together and go on. Well, it turns out after a couple of years, he wasn't the guy. Like it wasn't looking like a good life course that they were going on. And you know, he lived on the sort of what would one expect if you lived in a small Ontario town where there's 2 railways going through. It's after the war. You know, 48, 49, 50. Was when I was born in 1950. So all the kids are coming back for the war. The only job they can do is go work on the railway. And meanwhile, they've developed all sorts of new addictions while they were over there, be it alcohol, be it drugs, be it, you know, the zest for loose women, however it worked out. My dad at the time, that's what he used to do. He fulfilled that part of life. So that's okay. For all along, my grandfather had a picture of my mom and him at the wedding, and he was missing. It was cut in half. So my grandpa, here it is. I think we had just moved into the house that he built for us, so that Mom and I could live with them. So must have been 6 years old, and this is a true story. And it actually happened. I came down the stairs because I wanted a hockey outfit so bad. I wanted a Montreal Canadiens outfit like anybody wanted one, right? And I came down the stairs. And I remember that night because I sat at the bottom of the stairs because I wasn't sure if he was Santa Claus. I didn't want him. I didn't, you know, I had that thing. I believed totally. So finally I got out and I went in. And I looked, and there was a present. I got to open up my presents, and there was a hockey outfit, Toronto Maple Leafs. He hated Frenchmen so bad, he would not give me. And it was like, you know, like Grandpa, like I don't want to be disappointed. Like this is kind of early in life for me to really think you suck. But you got it all wrong, and quit denying my heritage, right? But it was. So I know there was a movie made of that, right? Of a kid asking and getting the wrong uniform. Well, it actually happened to me, and I remember it well. It was a fun time, and you know I still believed in Santa Claus for a long time. You know, because when I was growing up, people started coming around and going, you know, hey, Santa, your dad's Santa Claus. Well, that doesn't work for me because I don't got a dad. Right? So, like, if I still get presents, then Santa Claus still exists. Screw you. It took me another year to get over that one. You know. And then they hit me with religion. Oh, well. That's another story. But anyway, that's sort of, yeah. How did I get started on this thing? This is going to become something I'm going on. No, telling your life story as it happened, you know, especially with you brought your offspring here, and you're here, and you get to hear it, you know. Yeah, that was and another disappointing thing was, my birthday's coming up. You didn't know this. My birthday's coming up next week. It's my 24th annual 50th birthday celebration. Annual 50th. And I usually make a bit of an affair of it, but I remember years ago again, I think it was 7 or 8, we had gone to Aurelia, And because of this whole dad thing, I was raised never to get in a car with people I didn't know, especially if they wore black suits, and if it was a dark car, and always be careful if anyone following you or anything like that, because my dad had come back when I was 5, I guess, and had told my mom that I would be used against him. That's why he couldn't stay around. I get what I know the story, and I know the one that my mother bought. I get it. But she believed it, and so for a long time I walked around making sure I wasn't getting abducted. I thought that was kind of cool. Made me feel special, right? But yeah, that was an interesting part of growing up. So what was I going down? Oh. Do you know about the Flintstones? Right? That's no, just because my mom remarried when I was 10, so I got a new dad. But in 1960 was when the Flintstones came out, but it was on at 9 o'clock at night. Therefore, I wasn't allowed to watch it because it was an adult cartoon. And that's how they built it, because it was a takeoff of the Honeymooners, of which they got sued and all sorts of stuff. But now you can watch it on Saturday mornings, of which I do every so often, just to see what part of it I was not supposed to watch, which I have yet to see. But, it gives me something to do. But the reason I bring it up is because it's imperative that people that I tell this to know about the Flintstones, right? There's a question I'm going to ask you all, and that is, does anybody know the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Yeah? In Dubai, they don't like the Flintstones. Whereas in Abu Dhabi, they do. Abu Dhabi do. For the people in Abu Dhabi, told it all so much this summer. Sorry about that. Anyway, Tim, let's get off. Oh, by the way, when you were here, did you notice we have all our ducks in a row?
Yes, I did.
That's good. Nickel-plated brass ducks. Well, their history is they were put out by Burke's Jewelry, which was sort of in a middle-class kind of situation as opposed to popular, but it wasn't high-end. But they're nickel-plated brass, originated in Italy, the design. I have some originally made there, and then they were sent over to Hong Kong, which at the time, everything I knew from Hong Kong was crap. But in fact, they had the second finest fine brass making factories in the world were out of there. So they started doing them, and then it got transferred again to somewhere else along the line, and you could just see that this sort of lost a little bit of its quality to it. But in about 1988, 89, around there, late 80s, early 90s, they started showing up. Because that generation that had got them didn't want them no more, right? And they had 2 blue eyes, of which most of those were swallowed, and back when they didn't care. And it would also come with a blue scarf or a blue toque, or a pink scarf and a pink toque, depending on if it was a boy or girl, and they would give them out. Now, the crazy thing is, I saw a guy, I was with Pat Temple, and we went over to record at this guy's house on Gabriola, and he had put those ducks on microphones and tried to make a condenser mic out of it, right? And he had 2 or 3 of them, and it wasn't working. But I didn't know that. He said, well, not that great, don't worry about it. So I went out, and I happened to find 2 or 3. So I made a special trip over there one day and said, hey, I found some more ducks for you. He said, well, I don't want mine, so he gave me his. So now I got like a flock, right? And then I started noticing them. There'd be one here, one there. And I used to have Longevity John's cross-country canine courier service and adventure tours where I would transport dogs back and forth to Ontario or wherever, or move furniture or whatever you needed to do just to go for the long drives, which is hard to do on Vancouver Island. And along the way, I would stop off at different stores and I would find them one at a time. So there's 78 here. There's 106, I think 108 now because someone gave me one a while ago, that I have found, and only 2 sets were ever found as a pair, right? And I don't know the exact story to each and every one. I could make some up, but I know some of them really stood out in my mind. Oh, my grandfather gave me a car because he wouldn't let him drive it anymore, an Olds 88. And I think it was the Olds 88. Anyway, he had bought it brand new, cash, gave it to me because they took away his license, thank goodness. Oh, yeah, and I got it in 1990, thereabouts. So I'm driving across the country, first time over, and I go, wow, this is riding in posh, electric windows, all this shit. I never paid more than $300 for a car, right? And most of the cars I would get, I'd be the last guy to own them. So I'm driving across outside of Sault Ste. Marie, coming in on number 1, or 17 of it's called. And there's this little town, and on the other side there's a gas station. I'm going, like doing the speed limit. I figure, well, do I need gas or not? And I look over, and there's a gas station, but it's not really a gas station. It's gas pumps and a little booth. And there's this pretty little girl pumping gas. So I might as well pull in here, right? And then I go, no, that's really not my. What am I doing? Like I could have got to see. I don't need to stop it. And I started thinking to myself, like, this is really sexist. So instead of getting gas, there was a bit of a there was the pumps, and I come in this way, and there's a parking lot. So I pull in to the left, and I park the car. Oh look, there's a garage sale. I get out, sure as hell, there's a duck. I never got gas. Nodded to the girl, got back in the car, drove away. I think it's because I knew that I was being sexist that I was rewarded for acknowledging it, right? Isn't that cool? I think that's the way it works. So each and every one of them has stories, and that's all part of it. I'm going to get going. We've been talking a lot about this. There will be more to come. I'm getting feeling. But right now we're going to shut her down. I will give some tours to these new people about some of the neat items that are in here. It's kind of neat to go through it. Neil, Michelle, thank you very much. And thank you, sir, for thanking us for the 39 Days of July. Wonderful. It's great receiving all the accolades for a great. But, everyone has to understand, of course, it was better than last year. And next year's is going to be better than this year. Because why would you do it? Why would I ever want to go less than what we did, right? And it looks like we got the Shuffle Demons, if they get their touring grant. And it's their 40th year, and they're going to be at the Islands Folk Festival if we work it out right, who's also going to be celebrating their 40th year. And so already we're starting on 2024. Yahoo! Let's get on with it. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being a part of the Duncan Showroom Dress Rehearsal Tuesday.
So we set sail to the sea on the back of a whale. Yes, she held our lives. She's a blade that glides through the tides. And she moves just like a ghost. In the mist she continues to float. She showed her heart to so many men, so many. And so we set sail to the sea on the back of a whale. And as we rocked, she would sing a song that was so comforting. She showed her heart to so many men, so many men she'll never see again. Just for the moment, just for the day, just for the moment. Oh, I trust you, my dear, to carry me home, carry me home. Oh, I trust you, my dear, to carry me home, carry me home. And so we set sail to the sea